Anon Goes to Australia by I'm New 2023. Stood before the Tribunal of Internal Taxation Services, Anon listened to the long list of taxes Anon has not paid. Income tax, purchase tax, musical number avoidance tax, hug tax, meat-eating tax, a posh-looking white unicorn stallion said. In total, over 1 million bits are owed. Tell me, Mr. Anon, what is your defence? He asked. You're just hating because I climbed out of my social class, Anon said defiantly. Slamming a gavel onto a wooden block, the stallion looked down at me. We sentence you to 30 months in a royal penal colony in Australia, a pink mare said before a pair of guards started dragging Anon out of the room. After a short carriage ride, Anon was taken by airship to the continent of Australia. Being unceremoniously thrown onto the beach, Anon saw where he would be living for nearly 2 years. Just 50 feet away from the sandy beach were dozens of huts built in rows. Wandering over to them, Anon was met by a gaggle of dozens of ponies, zebras and even griffins. Watching them go about their day, Anon spotted a pair of guards sitting on the far end of the town. Walking up to them, Anon stopped once he saw them move their heads towards him. Welcome to the new Canterlot Penal Colony. Don't escape, one said in a monotone voice. You don't sound particularly bothered, Anon said. We don't want to be here any more than you. So long as you don't escape, we don't really care what you do, the other guard said. Further investigating the environment, Anon found himself surrounded by the beach on one end and a forest on the other. He wasn't well read about Equestria outside of Ponyville or Canterlot, but Anon could tell this was an island from the trip here. Escaping back to Equestria was an option. He could see plenty of trees could be used to make a boat. The idea of hiding out with Zakora was appealing, but those guards seemed like they were going through a lot. Getting them in trouble seemed like a dick move. Anon had to admit the beach was nice to look at. Clean sand stretching out for miles in each direction. A sparkling sea. Screw it, I'm building a bar, Anon stated. If only he knew where the fuck to get wood. This wasn't Minecraft, so punching them wasn't an option. While in thought, Anon failed to notice the tree he was standing under collapsed. Hey nerd, get out of the way, a familiar, mean voice called out. Turning around, Anon saw Gilda the Griffin stood there with a hand axe and her signature scowl. Gilda? What the fuck are you doing here? Anon asked. Some fancy pants bitch in Manhattan accused me of assaulting her after she caught me in bed with her husband, she explained. Were you in bed with her husband? Anon asked. Yeah, I was. So? The guy was called Stupid Rich for Mars' sake, Gilda stated. What about you? Did they finally ban losers in Equestria? She asked mockingly. Tax evasion, Anon corrected. Figures, Gilda said, going back to hacking away at trees. Hey, you wouldn't mind helping me build a bar, would you? Anon asked. Letting out a mocking chuckle, Gilda went back to her work. Why would I waste time helping a moron? Besides, this dump doesn't have any booze, so who'd go there? She asked. Looking around at the trees and shrubbery, Anon could spot various berry plants he recognised along with wild sugarcane. I know how to make booze. I just need a place to dispense it, Anon explained. That got Gilda's attention. Turning around, she raised an eyebrow. Fine, I'll help you build your stupid bar, but I want free alcohol whenever I want, she bargained. Sure, but you do need to help build it, Anon stated. And so the two would construct a large shack. Within it were multiple crude wooden tables and chairs. At the end opposite to the door was a large wooden counter. Behind it was Anon, painting a sign he intended to put over the front door. Australian Bar and BBQ. So when's the booze coming? Gilda asked impatiently. Once the rum I put in that bathtub you found is matured, then you can have booze, Anon explained. Back in Canterlot, Celestia wasn't too happy. Over a year ago, her close friend Anon the Human went missing. While many presumed him dead, Celestia never gave up hope. Recently, however, she found that Anon had been sent to Australia. Naturally, every pony who was involved was swiftly exiled to Yakistan. "Ready my personal ship, we're going to rescue Anon," Celestia ordered. She had brought Twilight from Ponyville for the journey. Her mind could only think what had happened to a friend in that dreadful speck of land. Pinned down to his bed, Gilda sweating on top of him, Anon smirked up at her. "Nerd," she stated. "Bitch," he responded. "I want another kid," she stated. "I'll leave it to your dirty minds to think up what they did that night." Celestia's ship had reached Australia. Expecting a small outpost often used for penal colonies, Celestia was surprised. A small town had cropped up where it should be. Dozens more buildings than it should be had gathered around a large stretch of farmland fed by artificial rivers. "Princess, are you sure this is the right place?" Twilight asked. "It should be," Celestia said. Something fishy was going on here, and it wasn't just the unicorn sat on a dock by the beach fishing. Close to 18 months after his imprisonment, Anon stood at his bar, pouring another wooden cup of berry cider. Anon placed it down on the counter. "Enjoy," he said, watching the zebra take it away. The door suddenly shot open. Celestia and Twilight stormed in, looking around for a second before their eyes met with Anon's question mark shaped face. "Welcome to Australia," Anon welcomed, startling the princesses. His cork hat shook as he did. "Anon, we've come to rescue you. I'm so sorry the tribunal sent you here. I've already seen to it that they've all been removed from their positions." Celestia apologised profusely. "Oh, that's alright, I'm good here," Anon said as he polished another cup. Put off by this, Celestia furrowed her brow. "What?" she asked. "I'm good here. I've got a bar, all the rum I can drink, plus a wife and kid," Anon explained. "Wife?" Twilight said in shock. "That's right, nerd," Gilda said, drawing the unicorn's attention. Stood by a grill, cooking a pan full of shrimp, was Gilda. "Gilda?" Twilight asked, not expecting to see the rude griffin. "That's right, Purple Smarts. His ass is all mine," Gilda said confidently. That explains this then," Celestia said, pointing at the green and brown feathered griffin baby hanging comfortably from Anon's chest. "Oh yeah, this is Hugh Jackman, mine and Gilda's kid." Anon introduced Celestia to his kid. "I lost rock, paper, scissors," Gilda explained. "So, you're perfectly fine here?" Celestia asked. "Yeah, turns out if you organise a bunch of convicts, you can accomplish a lot," Anon explained. "So, you're not coming back to Ponyville?" Twilight asked, worried her friend wouldn't be coming home. "I'll come back to visit Twiggles," Anon stated. "As you see, we've got a port up and running, so yeah, we can come and go whenever we want," Anon explained. "We've got booze, why would we leave?" a zebra asked, getting cheers of agreement from the rest of the bar. I'm surprised you didn't know I was here sooner. Luna's been coming for weeks, Anon said, pointing to the other end of the bar. Chugging a barrel of cider, Luna sat at a table with a plate of prawns and chips in front of her. Luna? Celestia said in shock. Tia, you're here. Anon gave us a great deal on a winter bungalow. Now let us pour more of this liquid into our bodies, Luna said, swinging one of Anon's shirts in the air, clearly drunk. So, you girls want a drink? Anon asked, watching her sister fall over giggling like a school filly. Celestia let out a sigh. Only Anon could turn a penal colony into a semi-pleasant holiday destination. I'll have whatever she had, Celestia groaned, and thus began the first outpost of the Commonwealth of Australia. AN. Anyone want to see Anon go to New Zealand next?